Hi everybody, welcome. And I'm so delighted that you're with me today. It really is an honor, it's a privilege to come together with people who really want to be a family, be a community, support one another, and are willing to change, are willing to see that something huge is happening here, something that is beyond our wildest expectations, and that we've got an opportunity here together to release all the old structures that weren't working anyway. We've had all this Capricorn energy still lingering a little to the end of this year. And yes, we'll have Pluto in Capricorn for a little while longer. But this Capricorn energy is taking us to the end, showing us that we are at the end of one paradigm and about to go into a new one. And it looks like, to me, that we can either go kicking and screaming and tantruming like little children, saying we don't want our freedoms taken away and we don't want this and that and the other, and complain about all the things that we don't like, or we can say, hey, what a unique time to be alive on planet Earth. And maybe we don't have to suffer as much. We don't have to create as much suffering as we have had. Questions. So I gave you a 3-day challenge to think kindly about everybody in your life and everybody who you don't know. But particularly the people who maybe, ruffle your feathers a bit. How have you got on? How has that been? 3 days of, it wasn't so much that I wanted you just to think positively, because thinking positively on its own isn't going to work, yeah? Because if you're angry, you're angry. And if you're sad, you're sad. You can't just sort of, there are some terrible things happening on our planet right now. So I wasn't suggesting that, but what I'm suggesting is that no matter what the situation is that you find yourself in, that you radiate possibility. So you might have come to a dead end in a relationship, but how could you maybe look at that relationship differently? How could you see it from a different angle? Because often people ask me about aspects astrologically. I'm doing a chart and somebody will say to me, well, is it good or bad? And I'll say, well, I can have 2 clients, one of whom will say that aspect is fabulous, and another one who will say, oh my God, this is awful. So the North Node in Gemini, this is the North Node, what we're moving towards, is this conscious awakening of the mind. Becoming conscious. Sharon, you caught yourself starting to complain. Wow, fantastic. That is conscious awareness. Thank you. And I'm also noticing that there are many negative comments come at me. I'm kind of getting used to it now. But I find it now interesting that certain people have the need to, to push down this whole, it's this whole paradigm that we're moving out of, which is this competitiveness, this pushing to beat somebody else, to be better than someone else at the expense of somebody else. And we're moving out of that paradigm. So it's a similar thing of wanting to put somebody else down. We're all in this soup together. So you're only putting yourself down in the process. Might not feel like that yet, but we are coming to a different awakening stage. The 3-day challenge, Joseph, thank you for the question, is to think positive thoughts about all the people in your life and to become aware when you are thinking negative, repetitive, unhelpful thinking. That was the challenge. Yeah, we're here to grow together. Thank you, Prashant. We're not here to compete. Yeah, it's a different. Negativity weighs on you like a wet wool blanket. Exactly, you guys. Exactly. So it is always my intention mentally to share upliftment, to share possibility with you. Not to say that we haven't got a serious situation in our world. We have. And for the people who are saying that COVID-19 is a hoax and and something false, well, I'll speak out now. I disagree. I don't think it is at all false. But there are those who would say that it is. I would say that we are being given a massive, massive wake-up call. So what are you learning at the moment? This would be my question to you now. What are you learning since COVID? Whether you believe it or not, since the virus, since the changes, what are you learning? Thank you, Lucy. You're doing a terrific job. Aren't I lucky? I learned that it really helps to have a moderator here with you when you're on live stream. And aren't I lucky? Lucy reached out and we're great friends now and she's helping me. And now Drew is helping as a trainee moderator. So I've got 2 helpers. Thank you, both of you. So the attitude now has to be of how can we help one another? And in helping, it's like we're climbing the mountain, but each one is giving the other one a hand. Another hand up, another hand up, another hand up, because Gemini rules the hands. So it's the energy of pulling one another up. Yes? Instead of pulling yourself up, which sometimes you have to do too, we're helping each other to move up that ladder, to move up Jacob's ladder. Yes. So I think we're getting a lot more awarenesses. This is about becoming more consciously aware. What if we begin to treat each other with care and concern and kindness, and that's the solution to all our diseases and illnesses and viruses on this planet? What about that? What about you go to the doctor for a prescription and he just says to you, just be kind to everybody around you. Just think good thoughts and be kind. And magically, you're healed. You don't need any of those pills. You don't need any of the pharmaceuticals. I'm not saying there isn't a place for them, but I'm saying that we're changing course. We're changing. And there's all these opinions out. Tests are false positive, tests are this, wear a mask, don't wear a mask, social distance, don't social distance. It's like it's dividing us. It's divisive, this Gemini, the good twin, the bad twin. But being divided is exactly what we don't want to be. Yeah, this is not the direction for our future growth on this planet. The direction is to see that we're all connected and that we've got to do something constructive. Mars in Aries for 6 months. Yeah, and there will be other waves. Of course there are going to be other waves, or other waves of something until we wake up. And the vaccine, as and when it comes. I don't think we can treat this thing on a chemical, physical level. It's working on many different levels. Yes. Crystal's learning to appreciate the earth more. Gardening, trees. Joseph stopped his prescription last week. Wow. Okay. So things are changing. Yeah. Individually we're changing. I'm learning that I've been consuming much too much on all levels. Yeah, we've been consumers. Uranus in Taurus is waking up this. Nobody is dividing us. Perception is everything. Thank you very much, Nicholas. It's true. And at the same time, there are opposite opinions around what we should do. And you only have to mention coronavirus to somebody and there's a whoom of emotion. So this reactionness of emotion is what we're dealing with, whether you like it or not. And the anarchy and the riots and all these things are just more of a wake-up call, a wake-up to see that we have to move to a different structure. But yeah, I've been consuming way too much food. I was really starting to put on a belly, I have to say. And not enjoying carrying around extra weight. And I know weight is sometimes a medical issue, but for me it was overeating. Simple as that. And the habit, just, eating, listening to an audio, habits. And now I have to consciously stop myself and stop eating for 10 or 15 minutes and see if I'm still hungry after that. And so far, I've not been hungry after that. And the dogs next door, who are the wonderful vacuum cleaners, thank goodness I don't ever have to throw anything out anymore, they love they've enjoyed the leftovers that I haven't needed. So Linda, yeah, thank you. You're very triggered by mandatory face masks. I understand. And maybe some of our liberties do need to be taken away. I'm not saying that they should be, but I'm suggesting that maybe we've had too much liberty, not in the face mask thing, so please, but in the in our liberty about destroying our planet, about needing to destroy the trees, to destroy everything. You want to consume more, not less, that's great. That's an opinion. As long as it's not at the expense of our earth and at the expense of our well-being on this planet, fine. Yeah, but I guess what I'm learning, let me just say what I'm learning. I'm learning to become more conscious about what I need and what is greed. And I'm learning that, and it's a learning process. I've been taught, this more. Yeah. And Saturn in your Aquarius from the end of the year is going to affect our civil liberties. And there may be things that we do need to talk up about, but not in the way of the past of being for the collective good. Thank you, Julie. Liberties for the collective good, not the individual egoistical self. Me. I don't like this. I don't like wearing a face mask. I don't like doing this and that and the other. What if we have to do it in order to survive and in order for our planet to thrive? These are just questions. I am not saying that these are things that you have to do. I'm just telling you these are things that I'm learning. Absolutely. Well, wouldn't you suggest that God or a higher power has also created the virus? Yeah. There's something very light about not needing more. That's all. I'm not saying you can't have it or shouldn't have it. Oh dear. I think, Lucy, you need to please, or one of you on the moderations, could you please deal with some of these comments? They're really hateful, and it's not okay. This is not a hateful environment, and it's not acceptable here on my channel. If you want to go somewhere else and you want to create hateful comments, okay. But this is a family here, and this is a supportive family here. Now, constructive criticism is one thing. And when you say things that are meant in a way that is constructive, fine. But I won't have hate on my channel. I'm not having it, guys. This is a different frequency. Whew. And that feels Mars in Aries bit nerve-wracking to say. But I feel it with all my heart. I do. We've got to cut it out. We've got to cut it out. Or the virus is going to do it for us, or something else will do it for us, or climate change will do it for us. Something will do it. Love is the way. Of course, love is the answer. But we've got to be educated differently. We haven't been taught with that. We've been taught a capitalist model. So, I'm getting into some deep water here. I'm getting back. Thank you, Lucy. Thank you. Aren't I lucky to have Lucy? Thank you so much. We are lucky to have Lucy. Thank you. She's the glue. She's helping glue us together, yeah? She's really uniting us. Because this is all about uniting. I mean, I'm from Manchester, England, and I have to say I was always a City supporter. I hated United. But now the word united really is the word that we need to use. It's about being united. Now, does it mean we've all got to agree? Hell no. We're never all going to agree. There's always going to be arguments and disagreements. And we're going to have to learn how to work together and not fight one another in those different views and different perspectives. Whew. So I think with the North Node in Gemini, we are being asked to grow consciously as humanity in harmony with nature, in harmony together. I think that's what we are being asked. And it's hard to change those old habit patterns, yeah? In Siberia now, there's been fires, there's been heat waves in Siberia that they've never, ever, ever known. So again, people may say, there's no climate warming, there's no climate change. Something's happened, something's going on. Yeah? We've got to change. We've got to do things differently. I don't like wearing a mask at all when I go out, but I wear it. I don't wear it if I'm on my own in the countryside. No, I don't. But if I'm out somewhere and I'm around people, you bet I wear a mask. And in the heat here, it's unpleasant. But how to say, certain freedoms are probably going to go and are going. Travel will not be the same. We've got to do things differently, and Uranus in Taurus is a wake up to this, doing our lives in a new way, so that instead of the Taurus energy, you know, we can see now it's shaking up our economy. We're learning not to harm, never to harm, only to teach. Yes, yes, absolutely. We're here to learn. Gemini is all about learning. Why this? Why that? Why the other? And we must question. I'm questioning the Greek government right now for opening up to all the countries, many, for tourism. We're spiking now in the cases. And I question that. Was that wise? So apparently in Japan, wearing a mask is a very respectful thing to do. And for Japanese people, it's not a problem. But for people in the West, I think more, we've got used to certain egotistical freedoms. And maybe we can't have them for a while until we learn what it is that this virus is trying to show us. What it is that all these plagues on the earth are trying to show us. What are we needing to learn? And until we learn that, I think this virus, or another virus, or a mutation. Yeah, Gemini is a mutable sign. So there could be mutations of the virus or other things, but we are learning that we have to mutate. We have to mutate from that egotistical me, mine, to our. I realise this is contentious. It is contentious, and what I'm trying to do here is to show you that it's all right to have many different opinions, but that we don't have to attack one another for those different views, that we respect the dignity of each person. It's taken me a while to not be upset with other people who don't wear masks when they're out. Yeah, because we have no law here yet. But now I realise that's their choice, and that's okay. It's okay too. I have to accept it. So, I think our values are changing. Taurus is all about values, what is important. And I think I would do this now yourselves. Let's look at it now. What are your values now? What's changed for you since COVID-19 appeared just a few months ago? What's changed in your world? And what's more important to you now than something else might have been before? Yeah, it's created wonderful opportunities, Minnie, for self-growth. You've changed so much as a human being. Minnie, what's changed? Would you like to share that? Let's inspire one another with possibility. This is all about creating possibilities here. Seeing that there are many options and ways in which we can go. If somebody can create a university in an internment camp where there are no pens and no paper and no books, and they can have 46 classes a week going, that's possibility. So what can we create from what's out? Okay, you've slowed down, J-Word slowed down, lost some jobs, still no jobs, sorry to hear that. But okay, a slowdown, a spiritual awakening, family and community is now more important. Dropping fear, service to others, great, yeah. So there's a lot beginning to surface. And it's like, as we learn about the virus, we learn about ourselves. It's kind of like going together. And I don't know about you, but I certainly wasn't taught in school to think about my purpose in life, to think about why I'm here, to think about really doing for others and creating that as my creed. Sadhana is learning to be happy in her own company. Beautiful. Sandra appreciating other people. Okay, it's great. Empress Jennifer, respect what you're saying. It's fine. Yeah, and until there is maybe enough research to show what is true and what is not, that's your perspective. I respect it. But we have so many ways that we can change. But what's changed, I think, is that no success will be described as the big car, the big house, the big business. I don't think that is the way. That I think that there was an emptiness to that. That we need more. We need to grow on the spiritual level. This creating awareness. Some people here looking for confrontation and not destruction. Instruction. Yes, that's true. Yes. Wendy, thank you. You care for others, you wear a mask. It's great. Another perspective. Junip, thank you. I love you all as my brothers and sisters. Absolutely. And we've all got to change. All of us. The politicians have got to change. The rich have got to change. The economy's got to change. All of it. Thank you, Sheila. Thank you very much. And I think that success is going to be evaluated much more now of what is my attitude to other people? What is my attitude in society? Isn't that wonderful? Yes, Sandra, yes. You love the earth and all the animals and you're happy she's got a chance to heal and get a bit of peace from man. Look at the animals, they're changing. They're coming into the cities now. Apparently in Canada there are deer in some of the cities. Yay! Yes, gratitude. I love that, Karen, thank you. Not easy to do, but absolutely. To be thankful for those that we perceive who have hurt us badly. For me, the people who've hurt me the most in my life have caused me the greatest growth. And I'm forever grateful to these people. Took a while, didn't happen overnight. But I think that we've got to become partners with this virus. I don't think it's about fighting it again. I think it's not about fighting one another again. I think we've somehow got to find a way to become partners. And again, radiate possibility. How do we do it? Great. Nana, nature is more important to you than ever before. Didn't realize how much you like Alaya planting seeds and flowers. Okay, more time to concentrate on your spiritual growth. Okay, so there's a lot of openings that are happening for us. Great. So, a few days ago, it feels like a week, it feels like ages. Of course, it's not about the virus only. The virus is a trigger showing us the entire picture. Because nobody, yeah, great. Minnie has grown more as a spiritual being. Fabulous. Woohoo! So 3 days ago, I played Amazing Grace. And initially on the live stream, I was criticized for that, saying that John Newton was a slave trader. But actually, he wrote that song as a redemption for realizing that what he had done was egregious harm. And he changed. So we all have that possibility to change, from being slave traders, for being manipulators, for being controlling, for being egotistical, for being selfish and self-centered, for doing things that hurt other people. I mean, who hasn't done any of this? I have. I just so much want to correct that now. I so much want to live an aware, conscious life. And the more of us that come conscious, the easier it gets. It's like when Roger Bannister ran that 4-minute mile. Loads of people did it after that because it became possible. And now we together, you, my beautiful family, my beautiful community, Lucy, Drew, thank you. Yeah, and all of you here together. We can speed up this awareness process. Each one of us got to do it within ourselves. We've all got our own individual patterns that we've practiced. But it's doable. And changing habits is a bugger. Thank you, Nikki, very, very much. I want to thank all of you who support me on Patreon, who come here on the live chat and support, who like videos. Thank you, thank you. Who send lovely messages, who think lovely thoughts. This makes a difference. Thank you. So why I love astrology is because for me, thank you Sheila, again, thank you. Is because it is the language of possibility. I love it. That's why it's never boring. Somebody asked me today, she said to me, I've got Uranus transiting my 7th house of relationships for the next 5 years. Does that mean I'm not going to get in a serious relationship? I said to her, heck no. No, here are some of the possibilities. And I reeled off. I said, well, you could get into a long distance relationship. You could get into a relationship with somebody that's a friend that becomes a relationship. Surprisingly, you get into a relationship with somebody that you connect with on a very high mental plane and you have great ideas together and it's super exciting. This would be a great time for a virtual relationship. And it's like, there are tons of possibilities with each aspect. And I guess that's the art of an experienced astrologer, is to be able to synthesize those aspects for each client that you work with and to come up with the most likely possibilities for the aspects that they are coming into. I'm being asked, how do you get in touch with the galactic friends, Sandra? You invite them in. It's just a question of invitation. You know how it is. You don't want a gate crash to any party. You want an invitation. Just invite them and you'll see. Thank you very much, Junip. Thank you. So I love this quote from Dan Millman, Socrates, who says this in The Way of the Peaceful Warrior. Lovely book, fabulous book. The secret of change is to focus all of your energy, not on fighting the old, but on building the new. And we're in that Gemini energy of those who are fighting the old and those who want to build the new. And where are you putting your creative thought? Where are we putting our creative energy? What's it going into? And as we move into this Aquarian age, particularly as we move towards the end of this year, when Jupiter and Saturn come into 0 degrees Aquarius, this is very much going to be about working in teams, in groups, in collaborations. And I keep having this vision of these different teams. Yes, the Earth team, the space team, the building team, the construction team, the artistic team, the musical team. Wherever your interest lies, you go into that team. The health team, the medical team. Thank you, Sun and Moon. I appreciate your generosity so much. Thank you. So this is what we are. This is what I'm seeing is again this radiating possibility of how can we use these astrological aspects in a way to accelerate our progress, rather than drag out maybe for another 100 years, if we've got that kind of time, if we continue doing what we're doing. I don't think we do have that kind of time, but to drag things out and to suffer things out, and rather we might be able to take a quicker path. And that's my intention with this live stream and with these live streams, to work with you. Yeah, because as you get inspired, I get inspired. You know, it's catching. I love this quote. It's an unknown. Thank you very much, Sharon, for your generosity. Thank you. This is a great quote by an anonymous. I couldn't find a person. One smile can start a friendship. One word can end a fight. One look can save a relationship. And one person can change your life. Thank you, Sherry. And this year, 2020, is a pivotal year where we're each being asked, what did you do? What did you choose to do? What did you change that contributed to this new awakening, this new species that we are becoming? And it's almost like we've got to go against our nature of this egoism that's become, and this is why Mars is in Aries all these months, I think, because Mars in Aries is the epitome, thank you NRG, Day Moon, thank you, is the epitome of, can be, again, possibilities, radiating possibilities, astrology, can be the epitome of, I want it my way or the highway. Me, I'm going, I don't care whether everybody else is coming, I'm going. Or it means I'm awakening and I am seeing when ego is appropriate, but I'm now going to use that energy in a different way, and I'm going to see that I have to grow and I have to act differently to the way that I have been. I have to change. And little knowledge, I've got to say to you guys, is a dangerous thing in any subject. And I hope you'll forgive me, because I think sometimes I come over as being more knowledgeable than I am. Thank you very much, S. Murdoch, thank you. In certain areas, yeah? I mean, astrology, yes, I've studied it. Music, yes, I've studied it. Certain things I've studied. But medicine in any detail, I haven't studied. Homeopathy, a little, but again, just a little. So, little knowledge in astrology can be very frightening. I had somebody today say to me, I'm very frightened, you know, I want to get married and I've got Chiron and Neptune transiting my 7th house. Ooh, that doesn't sound good. I'm like, wow, where did that come from? Again, what are we thinking? Now, it doesn't mean to say that there aren't challenging aspects in a chart. Yes, there are. And that often is what an astrologer is called to do, is to show you the timings and to show you the lessons that you can be learning that will be valuable from these challenging aspects. But a good astrologer, at least in my opinion, a good astrologer will show you options. I said too little knowledge is bad, Quinilus, yeah? You might get sucked into worrying about this and that and the other when there's no need to worry. Yeah, I have people who get in touch with me say, my son or my daughter has got Saturn in the 5th. Does this mean they'll never marry or never have children? It's like, wow, where did that come from? Thank you so much for your good thoughts. They make a difference. Whatever you do here helps come out. Patricia says, Jesus says in ACIM, readiness does not equal mastery. Be patient with the process, absolutely. Yes. And we've got to be patient with it. And probably even more patient when Mars goes retrograde from September the 9th to November the 13th. We're going to really learn patience. But more about that as we get closer to the time. So I think it's about breaking old habits, but becoming aware of the habits. And the Gemini North Node is about becoming curious. Thank you very much. Hi from Kate 1. Thank you. It's about becoming curious. For example, my modus operandi is to be a little more excitable. Yeah? If somebody has good news, I dance around the room. It's just how I am. So for example, a friend of mine today, Yanni, he closed the purchase of his house. And he got the keys, you know, he's going to get the keys. And I was so excited, I could hardly sit still on the phone. And I said to him, are you excited? He said, well, I said to him, you don't show much excitement. I said, I'm doing a happy dance here. Oh, he said, well, emotions expend energy, positive or negative ones. And I thought, wow, that's an interesting perspective, isn't it? So he's quite, how can I say, he's on quite a calm level most of the time. Yeah, he's very calm to be with, I have to say. But I never ring him up and say, how are you, Yanni? And he goes, I'm great. Never. So it's just a different perspective, different way of seeing the world. So what habits do you need to break out of? Where do you need to just push yourself a little bit? I had to do it today. I got so frustrated. And often frustration is the key to change. Somebody else must have quoted that way before me, but that's what I'm feeling at the moment. I'm so frustrated. I'm living in Greece at the moment. And of course, all the websites are in Greek. So if you want to order something, it's really hard work. And I persevered today and I made my first order in Greek with a little help from somebody on the phone, but not much. And it was my first order. I mean, that was a breakthrough. So what can you do to just break through something that's frustrating you? And yet, see, somebody here can relate to Ioanni's energy. See, we've each got these different energies, and it doesn't mean that you're not passionately excited about a friend's success. You just have a different way of expressing it. And I think all these different ways that we express are so beautiful, aren't they? It's like the different colours that we are, the different shapes, the different sizes that we are. Isn't that fabulous? Yeah? Yeah. Thank you, Nikki. Feeling for people in sad positions. Thank you. Yes. I have a dear friend who's having surgery today and she's constantly on my mind. Sending prayers for her. Yeah. So, not everybody greets the world like a 5-year-old, going out and saying, hello. I know. We have different ways of greeting the world. Sorry for being too calm. Calm is fine. Yeah, calm is great. And we're all different. So my next step might be, yeah, Quinitus, thank you. Beautiful. Quinilus, sorry. Let's send out a wave of caring for our brothers and sisters who are going through a very difficult time right now. Yeah. Ah. So I want to thank Lucy, I want to thank Drew, I want to thank all of you who have very generously donated while we've been online. For those of you who like the video, please like the video. It enables more people to be able to join in this fun and join in this family. We're learning, we're growing, we're sharing with one another. and I'm excited to see where we're going. Yeah, it's an exciting journey. Feedback, please. Is this format? Do you like this format? Would you like something else? What are the subjects you would like? Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of winging it with you here. We're inventing it as we go along. So Sandra is hugging everybody with all your heart. I'm hugging you all with all my heart. Thank you very much for coming online with me today. Thank you, Lucy. Again, thank you, Drew. Thank you. Much, much, much love to you.